Hey everybody, Dawn and Nancy Carson here tonight. We're pretty excited. There's been a few changes and Dawn can't wait to share with you. And I just want to let everybody know that we're having a terrible storm here. So if we just go like God, it's because we've lost our power.
Yeah, it's the craziest weather. I mean, we see friends from all over the world, our friends in beautiful weather, and ours is just turning to nice weather. And then of course we get a big thunder and lightning storm. But that's okay. It's kind of like what happens in people's business life. You never know what's going to happen in business. We've all experienced that over the last 3-4 years. Suddenly things changed, and we all had to figure out what we needed to do with more of our time. And it brings us to this moment. And I just want to, before I bring our guests on, I want to touch on a couple of things that triggered my attention today with some of the changes that we're going to be presenting here that are exciting. I was listening to a song while I was riding my exercise bike, and it was with Pink Floyd, and it was "Wish You Were Here." And I was thinking about all of the folks that will come to this company over a period of time because they're going to get the excitement and the enthusiasm from so many of you and so many that have been looking at this for the last 3-4 months as we've been building the backdrop for this incredible bringing the past to your future opportunity. And I started thinking about this song "Wish You Were Here." And I just want to read you these lyrics because it's kind of where lots of us have been in our either our business careers, maybe in our relationships, or just in our lives in general, where it says, we're just two lost fish swimming in a fishbowl, waiting year after year. And somebody can relate to that because nothing changes. You don't do anything different, and you just keep going along. And it's like we're running over the same old ground, looking for the same old fears. And Nancy, you have a great statement. You always talk about fear. I
just always tell everyone that like fear can hold you back, and everything good is on the other side of your fear. Everything that has been rewarding, everything that has caused growth has been on the other side of my fear.
And most of the things that we talk about are positives and excitement. But for many people that have never been in business, it's scary and they don't know what to expect. So first of all, let me just say that this is the beginning stages for you that have never been in business to go into business with professional business people. Our CEO is Dave Jordan. He's owned a number of companies, just recently sold one of his companies, and has put all his attention here. And, he's been in other network companies and been a top earner in those companies. And he's always seen and experienced the same thing. Some people don't know what to do. And so the philosophy that you're going to learn over the next weeks and months is that the team of leadership in this company is here to help you. And it's not just going to be how to turn an item that you might have bought on our website and move it to a platform that you might be able to sell to get whatever you want for it in terms of return. It'll be about the basics in business, tax type tips. Not that we're accountants, but most of us that have been in business understand that there's tax deductible expenses when you're in a business like this. For example, when Dave has his first event, that travel to that first event, if it's in Sioux Falls, if it's in Vegas, if it's in Winnipeg, will be a tax deductible expense. Your airfare and all of the expenses to get there. Of course, you have to be realistic. I mean, you're not just going to Hawaii to talk to somebody about a sports card or a Beanie Baby and write off that vacation. You're going to be doing activities that are business related, and legitimately you'll find there's tax deductible expenses. We'll go into that over the next number of months where you'll learn a little bit about that. Many of you will get your head around the fact that we're not really a selling opportunity, we're a sharing opportunity. So we want to teach you how to share. We describe that as point, click, and share. It's an exciting, very easy platform, and you'll learn more and more about it. Many people will say to us, how do I do this, Don? What are you going to do? And what's Dave's plans to teach us? Well, trust me, there are so many people that are here in this space very early like you that are here to help you. And that's where we get excited about what we're seeing behind the scenes, the types of quality of people that are positioning themselves for this early launch. Now, before we get our guests, I want to touch on the compensation plan and some of the tweaks that just happened today in an exciting way. For many of you, we've discussed how we're opening up with packages from $279 all the way up to $985, and the middle one being a $549, where we would have pre-packs. And as Dave and his team, and the beautiful thing for all of you is to let me say this. Dave Jordan has not taken a penny from anybody as he's been building this company, because that's his philosophy right now. He wants to be perfect on launch. So for many of you that have actually sent your information to join a team or a tree, nobody said to give us your credit card. That's a credit to our CEO and our owner, because he wants this to be perfect on launch. And so one of the things that was talked about originally was we were going to allow the $29.95, the $59.95, and the $119 position to come on board sometime later in June, once we've launched and we've had a chance to get the people that are starting into their positions. Well, because he's got so many staff and so many people sorting and organizing, he made a bit of a change today. And what he decided to do is to actually, on entry, look at offering those lower tier entry points for people to actually get a collection. So customers, for example, could get a $29 item. He's loading up those items and the pictures and so on into the systems as we are sitting here, getting ready, so that upon launch, you will be able to select some individual items. That's very exciting. And it's something that we didn't really originally think that would be available to all of our original and brand new team members out of the gate, say in June. So, that happened today. The next thing that happened today is, and again, this is all about what we want to do to make sure that you have a long-term business. And one of the things that I want to share with you as a business person, my wife is a business person as well, who's got a traditional hat on many days of the week for many years of our marriage. And that traditional business mindset means that you've got to have things perfect. So we want to make sure that the launch of this company is compliant and is absolutely in a position so that we have longevity. And so Dave is constantly buying collections. He doesn't have to. He's got so many items now in these warehouses. And for many of you that haven't seen, please go to the Facebook group called Collect Direct, join it, and then go find the tour of the facility so you can physically see all of these items. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of all these different collection items, and many of those items are in multiples. And so at one point, Dave is pretty convinced he'll have 1 million items available on the website. Now, not 1 million individual items, but items with maybe 1,000 behind them that'll be available. And of course, they'll be in a limited quantity because our audience will be around the globe, because our products are licensed. And so for those of you that really understand the advantage of that, let's go back to the 2 fish swimming in a fishbowl concept. Many people that come to this company have been in so many fishbowls. And what I mean by that is companies that started and changed, or their product suddenly became not compliant and it couldn't come into that country anymore, or it went out of date. And those things cause stress, right? Well, folks, our products never run out of date. In fact, the older they get, the better they get, in a sense. And so when we think about what's happening in this world we're in now as we're getting ready for a launch, and the changes that are happening as we're getting ready for the launch, everything's being done with a theory that it's all about you folks. You guys are the ambassadors to the future. You're the people that are going to bring this to the generations down the road, because like an eBay, like an Amazon, you have to start somewhere. eBay started with Pez dispensers, believe it or not. I understand the story was that the owner got them for his wife, and before you know it, he started selling them. And the company, which now has millions and millions of customers, I think it's 135 million around the world, sells everything you can imagine, but they don't necessarily pay a commission. So we're not an eBay, we're a direct selling opportunity inside the collectible space that'll allow you to earn retail rewards. The compensation plan, I'm going to open up to some questions tonight with my guests, and that might answer some of your early questions on what does a dual team structure look like? How do you get paid? What does a matching check look like? How do you get paid? What does a unilevel look like? How do I get paid? What do I have to do to be able to keep getting paid? Those questions we're going to touch on tonight with our guests, because they're excited. And I wanted these folks on there because I'm watching them sending in names regularly now to add to their teams before our launch, because they want those people to have an early opportunity just as they have. So, this is exciting, folks. We're taking away the $9.85 pack out of the gate. Why are we doing that? Well, because we look at it this way. collectors can buy 2 packages in a home run collector pack. The home run collector pack currently would have had 2 items in it. Well, what we're doing is we're going to take the home run collector and make that our team builder, which was 1 item, and make our superstar collector the old home run hitter, which was a home run collector pack now with 2 team builders. And why we're doing that is for a lot of reasons. One is to maintain compliance so that nobody has to say, hey, we're shipping you too much. We'll let you get in where you fit in and participate in our compensation plan at a very high level based on what you want to buy. So it's at $29, $59, $119, $279, or $549. You'll be able to get in where you fit in. And all of us will still, if you want to be a member and have a chance to earn those retail rewards and commissions, have to pay the $9.98 membership fee each year. And what do you get for that? You get the websites, a back office, and a corporate team that does all of the accounting, all of the shipping, all of the sorting, all of the grading, and making sure that what you order, you receive. And ultimately, each and every one of you will actually have a smile on your face, I believe, when you open up your very first package. So that's a summary of, some of the changes today. We can answer a few questions a little bit, but man, that was a really smart move on Dave's part, because we want to make sure that each and every one of you are with us for a long time. And remember, we're bringing the past to your future, and that's the opportunity that you're presenting to all of your friends. So let me bring off my guests here, and we'll kind of maybe start with Eric. Eric, if you don't mind coming off mute, you've been asking me a lot of questions in behind the scenes, and I thought we would just kind of go through some of those things and then allow you to share your excitement. You've never been in this industry before, but you've been in the direct selling space. And so you understand the transactional sales, but you don't understand the residual side of this industry. So Eric, come off mute and let's just say hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Now,
All right.
you and Dave have become pretty good friends here. You live in Sioux Falls, and I've had a chance to spend a fair bit of time when I'm driving. We get on the phone, and most of your questions you're asking me are the ones that many that have never been in this industry want to know. So maybe let's let you just share, first of all, what are you darn excited about, my friend? And then maybe you can come back and ask me a couple of those comp plan questions and let me answer them.
Well, I definitely don't have enough time to tell you everything I'm excited about. That's for sure. So just one thing is I've always been kind of a recruiter. And so kind of one of the main questions I just always like to ask is, who am I recruiting? Am I going after people that will be buyers, because it's like consecutively signing up, or am I going for people that will recruit and build teams? Kind of what is the route to go when you're starting the process? That's the first thing I really wanted to know, because I don't want to go from third base home. I want to go first base, second, third, and then home. So
right. So we'll jump in on that one right away. That's a great question. And one of the things I said to you is that you want to multiply your effort. You want to basically get 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of your own. When you were in the recruiting phase of the direct selling space, it was a transactional business. Most of the sales and commission came from one item selling. What we're looking at is volume. And the beautiful thing about this space is that each item, regardless of who buys it or promotes it, generates business volume in your team. And that business volume accumulates on a weekly, monthly basis. And so when you say, what should I do? What are you looking for? We're looking for both, because our plan is designed for you to get a retail reward on somebody just buying what they want off of our website. So when it goes live, Eric, the website will show multiple items in all of the categories that people can actually click on. And if they buy, the company goes into action, delivers that item to your person who filled in their address, and you're going to get paid a reward from $5 to $100 on that transaction. Now, that's one transaction. So if you only want to go after customers, those customers come back to your website. Our marketing platform will reach out to the team or the person and say, hey, you bought let's call it an Elvis Presley graded card. We just got into our collection some more Elvis memorabilia. Maybe you'd like to go back to the website. So your one-time effort from your website, point, click, and share to your customer, our marketing team's plan is to keep going with them and offering them, hey, you bought this, maybe you should look at that. So you're going to be supported ongoing with your customers. Now, the second part of our customer transaction will be that we're going to once in a while go to those folks and say, are you enjoying our service? Have you ever thought about sharing a website of your own and maybe making some retail rewards? That question will come from potentially our corporate team, and that person may then choose to go for $9.98 and become a member. They would then go into your team on the bottom of your leg that's the weakest. And that's the two-team strategy. And so when I really think about the question of who do I go after, I don't even prejudge anybody because I don't know who people know. So if I get a good customer that keeps repeating and eventually realizes that this is a crazy website, I love this, and they tell two friends because a friend asks them, well, where did you get that? And they realize they can make some money, the sky could open with potential. Now on the recruitment side, those are the people that you ask occasionally, hey, have you ever thought about making some money on the side? Or as I said to you earlier on today, and I was telling another gentleman earlier on today, I said, the problem with the world right now is it's very difficult to demand or get a raise in the corporate world because every business is challenged with inflation regardless, from the bottom and up. So if you were to go to your boss and say, hey, I'd like to get a raise, right? Folks, most of the people out there would say, I'm sorry, no. And if the person left, they'll try to replace them, which can be difficult. But the point is, if you're making $60,000 a year in your job and you tried to get a 10% raise, what is that really you're asking for? $6,000 or $500 a month. What I love to share with people is that, well, listen, why don't you just give yourself a raise and find a great home-based business that can maybe give you a $500 reward on your effort on a monthly basis. I've seen other people do that. And I talk generically about that. And then if I'm on the topic of CollectRec, it would be very easy for me to say, you know what's fascinating? I could share with you a website that has 100,000 different items. And if anybody buys anything, you can make money. Would you like to learn more? Let me point, click, and share my website to you. And before you know it, you're in business with that person. So there's so much opportunity, Eric, from a standpoint of the customer to the recruiting. But if you just consider the transaction, you miss the opportunity because the transaction leads to the interest and the future wants that people are want. So does that kind of answer that sort of a section for you, Eric?
No, it does. And I like the support system that allows, because the more I think about it, everybody's always trying to, hey, let me share this opportunity. Let me tell you about this. Whereas if you just kind of share the opportunity, not necessarily opportunity, but the website, hey, look at these items. And then the company follows up with, you're probably going to get a lot of people, hey, why didn't you tell me you could make money doing that? You're interested in that opportunity? Okay, now I guess I didn't know you needed the extra money, or didn't know you're interested in making the extra money, and now let me kind of show you the opportunity. So kind of they're asking us versus us having to approach everyone, and that's something I'm not used to. That's going to be nice.
And as Rick was just pointing out in the group chat, residual income is the key. Because it's, we've heard these terms before, but I love to think about our website as a retail store, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you don't have an employee, you don't have any lights on, no taxes to pay for the building, and you don't have to have insurance for all of the products in warehousing. You've got nobody stealing from your inventory because it's handled by the company. And 24 hours a day, regardless of the time zone, if somebody goes to that website and finds some incredible toy, some incredible, Dave was just explaining to me, he just got some of these Hot Wheel cars that are collecting, so he can't even believe he's got. And some of these really fascinating toys that are coming off the trucks for him. Those things will attract eyeballs, and that's what we're after. And folks, there's a lot of influencers that are looking at what we're doing, and they plan to share that on their platforms, and we know where those platforms are going to cause a lot of traffic, and that's exciting because if those people buy a $29 item, yes, they'll make $5, and I love the idea of $5, $5, and the volume accumulating inside your tree. So, Eric, that's a great question. Do you got one more that you want to throw out here on a platform before I get to our next guest?
And then just one other thing, just if someone is struggling, what is the first person, or some signs that you can kind of overcome to kind of reach out to your team? I know people said, recruit, and I think a lot of times recruits are overlooked or taken kind of for granted.
Sure.
And some way to kind of retain the early ones, like I would just kind of, what are some early signs that you can tell? Because if someone doesn't feel important or they don't feel like you're investing any time into them, they're probably not going to do it on their own. And so just kind of.
Yeah. In the early days, and Nancy, we've had a lot of people that take off and run in our businesses in the past, and we just get out of their way.
Absolutely.
And that's nothing wrong with that. Like,
No.
you don't work for me and they don't work for you, Eric. So that's fine. But
We've always said ignorance on fire is way better than people on ice.
Exactly. So, but the telltale sign might be these types of Zooms eventually, the training platforms, when we start doing Saturday type presentations and the different leaders come on, and you find that person's not interested in learning more because they figure they learned all they had in something else they did. And you know what? This is a different platform. To be honest with you, this is not a traditional network marketing platform. This is a true business. This is a true business that lets you point, click, and share. I can't use the term billions because it wouldn't be fair. Millions and millions of dollars worth of collectibles that have been in warehouses for the last 40, 50 years that all of you get to benefit from if somebody buys them. It's a really fascinating opportunity. So I would say that the person that's not reaching out to you and asking questions, I would reach out to them. And folks, the back office that you get will allow you to do that. It's very robust. It'll let you look at your team and see where the volume is coming from and reach out to those people and congratulate them. And maybe your team will give its own little reward to those people, whatever, because there's ways that we're going to be giving you dollars in our transfer credit program from the rewards you get on a monthly basis. There's little things you'll do to lead your own team. Remember, you're your own boss, so you've got to get out of your own way, yes, but you've also got to look in the mirror and say, if I don't do it, nobody will. So Eric, one thing I will say, and I just want to leave you with this thought, everybody. Eric, how many people, and you've never been in this industry before, have you actually thrown into the tree for your team so far? No names, just give me a ballpark number so I can let these people know, here's the person excited.
Probably I would say it's probably like 70 to 90, 100 top. I would say around maybe 100 or so.
So folks, thanks, Eric. Just mute yourself. You've been awesome. Thank you, my friend. I enjoy speaking with you. Let's just think about what Eric just said. He's one of our core people that have been looking at this for 2-3 months, that has passed on over 70 to 100 names with first name, last name, email, phone number, no credit card, who are excited about what Eric's been sharing with them, and get ready for the launch and watch them just point, click, and share, and imagine the volume in Eric's team. Each and every one of you have that chance. That's the point. So as we go on to our next guests, David Boyle and Jackie Boyle out of Australia, folks, I want to let you think about the athlete in the world and the trainers in the world and the stories of success in sport. Now, we're not a sport company. We just happen to have some sport categories. But David Boyle, can you come off, you and Jackie, and just make sure that you're live with me? And Jacqueline and Nancy?
Hi, Don. Nancy, how you doing? Everybody, welcome from Australia. And I'm actually at the Olympic Stadium for 2000. That's where I work.
Well, this is why this is such a great conversation tonight. My daughter and I were walking our dog yesterday, and she had a little tear over a person that came to their university volleyball team's final reward night. And this person came on and had won a gold medal in an Olympic sand beach volleyball thing, and told the story. She told the story. I'm going to mute everybody again, and I'll let you and David come off. There you go. Perfect. So I think you might. I'll unmute you here. You might have to unmute yourself again, David and Jackie. The story was that the objections they had all through their early days of not being good enough finally lent them to the point where all they did is put in their head the positives. So, David, I have not met you in person. I've just heard so many great things about you. And Jackie and I and Nancy have become great friends. But, you're a coach and you're an athlete, and you're somebody who's been recognized in that market as somebody who can motivate people. But maybe you could just share a similar sort of scenario of how people got to get out of the way in the sport world and how that's motivating to business people.
Yeah, so I've had 42 years in professional sport with the NRL, and
Just lost you. I don't know if it's me or if it's you.
We are storm.
I think it's him, actually. He's just, he'll come back on, I think.
So Jackie, as we're waiting for him to click on, I mean, your husband's been a professional athlete, rewarded and talked about across that
And
nation. There you go, David.
For me, I'm excited because Jackie's a salesperson and I'm a service person. So all I do is show them the website, give them the details, and then if they need help, Jackie will do the sales.
So that's your team effort that is really good from a couple standpoint. Jackie, you said something on another Zoom where you said this is the first time you and David have been able to line yourselves up in this form of industry.
Don, it's interesting. We've always had a health and wellness space background that we've shared together, and we had a fitness center together, and we did actually train elite athletes together. And so it's always been amazing, but we've shifted gears and gone on a different pathway. So, you know, where I've been hasn't been of an interest to him. But as this has come across our pathway, it is the first thing, and I'm so darn excited that he's actually embraced, because he's laughing at me because I can talk underwater literally. So he's just going, oh my goodness, but now he can see the concept of it. And as he's been listening to me talk to people, and it's been forced listening, I guess, that he said, I can do this. He said, I can see just how much of an impact that it's going to have in the world that he's in, because yes, it is sport, but we know it's bigger than sport. And for me, the accessibility that David has globally, he has access to people that I do not. So as a team of, you know, Minnie and Mickey and Mac and Maya for hire, we believe that we've got something that's going to really excite us, because we're here in Australia, and Dave has been so generous to open up Australia for us and for the rest of Australians as well to tap into this. And for all of you people that can reach out to your Australian people that you know too, because doing something together like this for us going forward is going to make life just a whole lot of fun. And it has been easy. We talked about it, and I'll let David come back into it as to how we're going to share. Our take on this is I've just been sharing it, and I've just had somebody that's come on board. So welcome on board, Max from Australia. He's just messaged me and he's found out about Collect Direct and wants to be a part of it. Passed on his details. You're going to get them, Don. It's just an easy conversation. So we're going to make up business cards. I'm going to give them to David. He's going to pass them out when he's at a football game, or if he's out surfing, or if he's training somebody in some sort of an elite area. Check this out because it's worth looking at. That's going to be his contribution. And then he's going to say, if you want to know any more about it, ask Jack. And that's how we're going to approach it. And we think we're going to have a whole lot of fun out of it. What do you think, David?
Yeah, the more that Don explained it to me, we had a meeting with him the other day. There's a lot of ex-athletes that live in the past, and it just really resonated with me that, you know, they're always talking about what happened, and this is something that they can then hook up with other ex-athletes. So like Rick said, it's not a hard sell. It's that here's the business. If you like it, have a look at it. Browse around the database, see what you like, and you know, for $10, it's not a big layout. No pressure.
Yeah, and being in business today for $10, $9.98 US, let's be honest, to start a business today that has the potential to earn you whatever you want to put into it, and whatever you put into it, you will get back. There's no guarantee. It's pretty fascinating, because you guys have been in business. You were in a fitness facility business. You were in other things. It's a risk, traditional business today. And here, you're going to get collections that you can put in a time capsule, like a treasure chest, and keep them forever, give them to your grandkids, and who knows what they do for value. So it's a fascinating story. And I believe exactly what we're seeing with you two is going to happen, like my wife and I and others. It's going to be a great home business for the complete family to work on. Jackie, I know you mentioned your sons love Star Wars things, right?
Don, let me show you this little book, and this is only one little book. I was buying these the holographic Pokemon cards, and I said to him, have you still got all of those? And he said, yes, I have. This is just one. And these are all the top shelf holographic Pokemon cards. I said, let me have them. I need to have a look at them. Like, they're from 1995. So my sons are actually interested in doing this. And I'm going, who would have ever have thought? But if you know my husband, he's straight 80 in regards like his business straight down the line, and I own the chatterbox. So to think that we're actually going to be in sync and doing something that is fun and it's easy, it's not selling, it's sharing, something that everyone has a desire, because everybody can remember what their childhood passions were, and we're just bringing them forward. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Dave and Joyce.
Awesome.
Wow.
Well, thank you. You two, you guys are amazing. David, I mean, I look forward to you being on stage one day and coaching us in some of the things that you've done with your athletes around the world. So, and you too, Jackie. So thanks guys for joining us. Folks, I'm sure there's some other questions out here. I see some chats coming along in the group. I know Rick was making a comment about, as the compensation plan goes live into the website, and you're all getting a chance to go through it, and it pops up and does all the things, the actual circle drawings and videos that are being done, Rick and others will be professionally doing some things that they know how to do over the month and years ahead. I mean, guys, this is the beginning stage of something that's going to evolve every week and month and year ahead, for sure. I just heard somebody come off mute. Go right ahead. No? Okay, is there a question that we can get from anybody else? Thanks, David and Jackie and Eric, for joining us tonight. That was awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, we've got some time for some questions. Let's see if there's any questions tonight, specific comp plan or anything that we can touch on. Okay, anybody? Go right ahead.
Hey Rick, Michael here.
Yes.
I came in late. Can you give me just like a 2-second elevator pitch really quick so I can catch up?
Well, are you talking about an elevator pitch on promoting the business or on what we just talked about? Because the recording,
promoting.
yeah,
Yeah.
the recording will be on our Facebook group after this, so you can all watch it. You know, I listen. I really believe the elevator pitch, as you're describing it, which is a 30-second commercial, and that's the way I would promote and train any of the team members on a one-on-one basis. Is what are you going to say in 30 seconds or less to get somebody interested in what it is you're doing? And first of all, we all have to have ears open, right? I mean, we always say, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth because you should be a better listener. And so the first thing I've always done is listen for those buttons. You know, if somebody's complaining about getting by or their car payment or the university debt they've got that they got to pay back, I don't slam them right away with a, hey, I can show you how to make money follow-up. That's almost wrong to do that. But if I was to hear that a day later, I might go to them and say, you know, George, the other day you said something, you're struggling. I might have kind of come across something. I got a friend of mine that's, available to get on a call with me, and he's teaching me a few things. If you got some time, I mean, hey, listen to what he's saying. And, sometimes it's the third party that's better to share the opportunity. And we teach that concept called third party validation as we go forward here. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some people in this team right now that are master recruiters and master trainers. And they're here to not be paid to tell you, they're here to help you grow, because we have a global pool. And if the pool gets bigger, everybody wins. It's the ultimate team compensation plan. And ultimately, when you really think about what it is we're doing in this Collectorate company, it's so much about finding nuggets of history that you would want to have to share your kids or your grandkids. And again, if you think of the time capsule philosophy, bury it and come back 10 years from now, what could it be worth? I've seen it firsthand with my 7-year-old, now 24-year-old son. Bought him a card when he was 7 for $150, Alexander Ovechkin. That card now is in our safe, and it's $3,800 in the same store. And so I didn't buy it to make money. I bought it because I wanted it for my son because he was playing hockey. There's going to be a lot of that going on. There's a young professional hockey player going to see Dave tomorrow that was on our Zoom last week. He's so excited. He's driving right now. He may even be on the Zoom, and I'm not going to ask him to come off mute because he's an athlete. And as David said, athletes know that it'd be great to tell their story forever, but sometimes you can't do that in the area you're in. So you've got to start coaching, and that's what they do, or they're training. Folks, we're going to teach the concept of training and duplicating. Now, I'm going to leave you with this thought before I ask somebody else to come up here. And I hope I answered your question there about a quick 30-second commercial or elevator pitch. It's
I guess the question is there a product we're selling?
Yes. So you missed all of that. Yes, we
Yeah,
all
sorry.
have. Sorry, exactly. So you missed exactly. The website will have 100,000 different items and different categories of 7 to 20 different categories of products in the collectible space. From let's just use sports as one area, because sports makes up soccer, NASCAR, baseball, football, basketball, and of course it's going to get into the martial arts, the UFC, and all those different sports categories. But then there's categories in the Disney category, like the Star Wars, the Star Treks, the Jurassic Park world, all those collectibles in that space that eventually will be available that you can point, click, and share and find. There's dolls, from Barbie dolls to Beanie Babies to Cabbage Patch Kids. Then there's the cards from the Garbage Pail Kids. All of these categories will open your eyeballs and your potential customers' eyeballs to buying something they want at a great price, but you get paid if they do that. You don't deliver it, the company delivers it. So the answer is yes, there's a product. So what's the question you might ask? Hey, did you ever collect anything when you were a kid? I ask that all the time.
I find it happens organically. I'm talking to people, or I see somebody that's got cards over at the side. You see fathers and children playing with cards. It opens the door for a conversation, and people don't feel weird about you asking them, oh, you collect hockey cards, or what are you guys doing there? And it just seems to happen so organically. And then when you talk about something that you're passionate about, and they are already showing you that they're passionate about it, it's very exciting. It's nice to be on the same page, where it doesn't feel like you're convincing anybody of anything. People already are passionate about these things. They're already looking for these things. It's the collectible world, the collectible field is just so easy to talk
and getting
about.
so big.
It's so big.
There's a show called The King of Collectibles on Netflix now. It's going to drive our business. There's
and if you go into
podcasts.
Forbes magazine, they talk about collectibles being
One of the best
huge.
money makers there is out there. So yes, you'll want to ask that question. Do you know anybody that collects anything? Have you ever collected anything? All of those things, as Bruce Matheson would say, hey, do you know anybody that collects anything that you've come across? All of those things are going to lead eyeballs to the website, and that website will do the job for you, and it'll keep them engaged for the next 5-10 years, because it'll offer other things to them. Does that answer your question? I hope so.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I love the concept that there's a bunch of different kind of products. So regardless of what kind of niche that personal individual is in, yeah, you can definitely sell them on that. Is it essentially like drop shipping or affiliate marketing?
Yes. Yeah, it's drop shipping. So the company will pick and pack and ship on your behalf. Yes. And every transaction, you'll get some sort of reward, either a retail reward of $5 to $100, or you'll actually get volume that'll get accumulated in the compensation plan. We'll go into that in more details when we physically have a compensation plan training Zoom in the coming weeks, when launch is happening. So thanks for the question. I appreciate that. How about somebody else? This is a good. Yes, go right ahead.
I was just going to ask you, can you just reiterate the home run team builder package? What do you say you have to have 2 members to get one?
No. So that's a great question. So if I had a screen up right now, you would see what's called a $279 pack. That package, you would get 2 of them in what we call a superstar collector pack. If you want to be a home run collector, you get 1 of them. And what's in the $279 pack? Whatever category of collection you picked. If you decided to pick, for example, Beanie Babies, well, folks, if you understand the Beanie Baby market, it's come back, and it's exciting as they're producing new Beanie Babies. But what's very exciting is Dave has thousands and thousands of retired Beanie Babies. Those are the ones that are collectible right now. And he's giving you X number of Beanie Babies in each of these packages that you'll start off with. And it's exciting. That's just one category. So, in your case, Gail, you may pick hockey because you're a Vancouver Canuck fan, and you may pick Beanie Babies because you want to give it to the grandkids, whatever. Eventually it'll be Barbie dolls, and Dave has Barbie dolls. Folks, he's adding a Lego category so that you'll see Lego as a category down the road here. He's working on that now. He's adding LPs, vinyl record category down the road here so that people can get some of the old 30 and 40-year-old 45s and so on that, listen, it's come back. People are playing vinyl today. So the history, the past is worth so much when they bring it to your future. And the word your is important because it's not about the company. It's about you and your. That's why our mission and our mantra that we say is we're bringing the past to your future. And you need to share that with people because it's all about them ultimately when you point, click, and share for them. So did that answer your question, Gail? Hope so. Anybody else? Go right ahead.
Yeah. This is Katie, Don.
Hi, Katie.
Don, I had two quick questions here. One, now, when you select your pack that you have, let's say that you keep you're getting all your people that are coming in under you, and then you also are bringing all your retail buyers, which retail buyers are like buyer collectors. Is that correct?
Yeah. Now, so many people that'll be members will be collectors as well. But the customer who says, I just want to buy, I don't need to make any money here, they're a customer. So lead with that. I know what you're going with, so keep going and let's get to your,
Okay.
and I can answer.
Yeah. So right. The time constraints. So what I'm saying though is when you have your buyers and then your people coming together, does that whatever package that you purchase, whatever you come in at, can that package that you came in at, can that be eliminated since you're bringing in volumes of people under you, and as well as bringing in your retail buyers?
Yeah.
You mean
So
qualifying?
are you talking
That
about
you're qualifying?
Yeah, so there's two parts of what you're saying. So I think I know I think I can answer that in this expression.
Okay.
Customers don't go into your tree. Customers do not go into your two legs as a person that has somebody else underneath them so that they can see people below them. They have no access to that. Customers go into your unilevel part of our plan because that's just a commissionable repeat business that pays you on an ongoing basis. Again, the compensation plan honestly will take care of itself. Don't even worry about it. It's handled by the computing of the programming. You just got to point, click, and share. Do you want a customer? Do you want a member? So the answer to your question is your members are underneath each other, and your team of members will come from the people that have sponsored you as well. Everybody in this team of Collectorec has a vested interest in building organizations if they want to make residual income, as Rick said. Residual income is making a little bit off a lot of people. The customer sale pays you that one time. What we need to do as marketing arms in the company is to go back at them with new things so they keep coming back to buy more, and then you keep getting paid by that customer's sale and purchase every time. So the answer to your question is the customer does not go in the two team legs and be part of the organization. They're a consumer that you get paid on every time they buy.
Okay, one more question, Don. That I was looking at the last time because I was on here last week, and it said that you can make $100,000 a week. Will that be discussed in that compensation plan thing that we're going to have later on?
Yeah. So I mean, that's a great question. And for those of you that can imagine making 100,000 US a week, that's just from one part of our compensation plan. That $100,000, if you got that level, you're also rewarding on that matching checks on your team members that are earning. You're also rewarded unilevel pay on all of the customers and team members that are ordering every month. You're also getting global share bonuses. So to your question about 100,000, how do you earn that? Well, when you see the number, it'd be $1.5 million of volume and $1.5 million of volume. And if you take 20% of that and it happened to be in a week, you can start looking at how that would pay you. So $500,000 times 20%, or 500,000 in volume times 20% would be how much dollars? $1 million in volume at 20% would be how much dollars? That could happen every week because there's constantly going to be customers buying from their websites around the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week as we go global, just as eBay is, just as Amazon is, and each and every one of you have a seat at the table in the day one of this company's launch. Never been done before, category creator, and honestly going to be one of the most fun money-making things you've ever seen. That's why I say there's so many out there swimming in a fishbowl, doing the same thing over and over again, not getting in ahead. And here we're going to start something new, never been done before. How cool is that, right?
And that's realistic, Don? Is that realistic, that $100,000 a week, sir?
Well, let's do the math. There's been, in Dave's last company, we had folks, one of them on, two of them actually on this phone, right? This Zoom right now, I can see their names. They both made $1 million a year or more in their past company. And one of them had never done this business before. And, you know, we're all proud of her. And she'll be a spokesperson in this company because she's excited. And again, one of the things is it's not potions and lotions. This is something people want, right? So
Right.
yes, it is realistic, but here's the key. We can't promise you that. That'd be illegal. So we just say to you, hey, this is the
Rewarded on
plan.
your
You're
efforts.
rewarded on your efforts, but the potential is there.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Don. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody else got a quick question for us? This is good.
I do. I just wanted to know about presentations. You know, I know this is a lot of information, and it's a lot for someone, especially someone like me who doesn't know a lot about collectibles myself personally. Is there going to be like a point and click Zoom, a point and click presentation that simplifies this for an individual so that they can understand that?
Yeah. So
and one other thing I wanted to share real quick.
Yep.
I was actually up there yesterday, and I don't know if we've got any NASCAR fans here, but I've seen some pretty amazing NASCAR stuff going together. And so I'm going to tell you, wait till you guys get this stuff in the mail. Wait till you get your packages. You're going to be really happy. I want to tell you that.
I agree with you, Kenny. And the beautiful thing about what you just asked is, and I already forgot what you said.
Tools. He's looking for tools. He's looking for videos, stuff to plug into.
The scripts have been written. The
Yes.
videos are being shot. How's that? That's what's happening right now.
That's what we need. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's being done as we speak. Yes, there will be a lot of information, videos on the compensation plan, on each of the areas of the compensation plan. There'll be videos on how to get started. There's an app going to be launched here at our first event that you'll all get and be able to just point, click, and share, and then send links with information and videos from it. All of this is happening while we're on this Zoom. So folks, you are in the most valuable space in the history of this company. When you look 10 years from now and look back, you'll thank your lucky stars that you were in this time, this moment of this company.
The pioneers.
The pioneers, but because we're debt free, folks. And Kenny's seen it. And there's people going there tomorrow to see it. There's millions and millions of dollars worth of incredible collectibles that are all there for us to point, click, and share. And I mean, I can only use your imagination what kind of money you can make. Kenny, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Anybody else? I think we've got about another minute or two. Anybody else want to ask?
Don, I actually have a question.
Yes. Hey, Shane.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm gonna Mr. Coward's shaking in his boots, but I'm gonna ask this anyway, sir. From day one, my question is this: I enjoy the history and collectibles, but is there any thought about looking at doing fungibles, because that's the new type of collectibles to people for developing new pieces of art and new pieces of collection in the future for the company?
You're talking about NFTs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's a great question. In the early days of the meetings that we've had, and you know, again, this is Dave's company. I'm just saying I was sitting at a table where I've seen more than most of you have seen. The concept has come together on that for sure. There's obviously a lot of legal parts of that has to be done. Do I say it's going to happen? I can't say it's going to happen. Do I say it won't happen? It probably will, but I don't know the timing on any of that. I just know that topic has been talked about. That's a great ask. For those of you that don't understand that, it's like creating something that's a one-off that suddenly people can have a piece of art, buying them a Picasso or something that you get a piece of. All of those things are in Dave's corporate advisors and his legal side right now to bring to the table when the timing's right. So it's not a straight no. I can't say yes, but I can tell you that it has been talked about. Hope that helps.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity and your guys' time.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I got a question here. I would like to know, I want to be, I'm in the tree, I'm coming in as to build a team and build a business. I understand the long-term residual and the, passive income type thing, point, click and share. Those things I have a rudimentary understanding, and that's what I want to go forward with. And for startup purposes, can you explain a little bit more on what the startup package is for a guy like me? Where do, I want to come in at that top level and start moving forward as quickly and as rapidly as I can.
Right. Okay.
And not only that, I am very excited about collectibles. Just so you know, this is like unbelievably awesome.
Well, you're not alone, because I've heard that 1,000 times here in the last 4 months from people who are saying, I can't believe this opportunity is going to go for real and live. And then we hear right behind that statement, make sure you're ready when we launch so we don't blow this. And Dave is so adamant that he's got to make sure this is right. He could have taken your credit cards a month ago. He didn't. He has no interest in taking your money until he knows he can wow you. So the answer to your question, I think, was, what did he say?
He was asking about the startup package to come out of the gate.
Yes. Okay.
running.
So I'm going to tell you that there's a philosophy in a dual team structure. Rick will have a philosophy that we're going to align ourselves with. JC will have a philosophy that we'll align ourselves with. And folks, it's basically going to be, when you get started, you're going to have some people. Most people in the industry, without understanding it, can bring 3 to 4 people. And I believe that number is going to be ×3 in this company because the products we're offering. In this industry, lots of times they say, talk to 6 people, to get 4 people to say, that's pretty cool. 2 to say, I probably think I might get involved, and 1 will get involved. It's called 6, 4, 2, 1. I believe it's going to be more like 6 people, 4 will be customers. And then 2 will join and 1 will actually do something. I think the 4 customers at $29.98 are going to drive your paycheck through the roof eventually, because people just love what we're promoting and what we have available. So what's your best package to start with? We like to say get in with your fit in, so we have options. But I believe for me, the $279 and the $549 are going to be the leadership positions for the builders that want to start. The $549 will allow you to participate in all parts of the compensation plan prior to getting to the lifestyle bonus area, or what we call a diamond and above area. So most people that are wanting to come in, we had a $985, but Dave has had some advising done to say, listen, some states in the US want you not to ship over the 900 or whatever level. So why even give that? Now, do we add that later? Yes, it's easier to add than subtract in Dave's world. And I think you would all agree. So he's not taking from the comp plan, he's adding to the availability for everybody to get to the top position that they want to purchase, which would be $549 day 1. And that's exciting and fair on his part. It tells you he's not in this to get rid of his stuff. I've heard people say that. Oh, it's the greatest way for him to get rid of all of his inventory. No, he's buying more. Kenny Getz just delivered more yesterday from his son. He is in this to win this for all of you, because he wants this to be a legacy for his love of the industry, but he wants to do it with non-networkers in a sense that they can succeed as well as a networker, if that means anything to you, sir, that just asked that question. That's a benefit for you and I, who understand the networking industry, because it's going to be easier for a person like a Jen Melendez, who's never done this before, to get started here and be successful, because they don't have to have any experience. All they're going to do is point, click, and share. So how are they going to start? Again, what you can afford is what you should do, and don't go over that. But I personally know I'm going to either be promoting the $279 and the $549 package, because I want people to get a chance, right? To get a chance to get the most bang for their time and their effort day 1. So I hope I answered that question.
Yeah,
So are you
you-
saying that we shouldn't get the 985 pack?
So Gail, at the beginning of the Zoom, I announced that Dave's removing that out of the gate. So he's going to have the maximum amount available, $549,
Oh,
which is
okay.
the two categories only.
Categories, okay.
Yeah, so you'll get 2, not 3. And he's doing
Okay.
that to prove to everybody that, first and foremost, he's not trying to get out of his inventory. He's trying to get you started all on an even playing field day 1 and get in where you fit in. I think that's just a credible thing he's done today. I hope you agree.
Well, one of the things that I, just to button this up, as a business decision, this was awesome. And it was something that I had no issue with. The next thing out of that came, where do I want to begin at? Because I plan on building a team. And so as this goes forward, I know it will evolve, as well as my skill set in this will evolve, and I'll be able to do better and more than, and that's what I wanted to do, is make sure that I afforded myself of whatever the opportunity is, so that coming out of the gate, it's wide open. And that's just for me. I'm not saying that's for anybody else. That's what I want to do. And I've already joined a bunch of these collectible sites where these people, I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, and those people are fanatics. And
yes,
and
I didn't want to say it.
And when you point, click, and share with them, watch out what happens, right?
Yeah.
And I congratulate you for that. Hey, let me just touch on that, and I'll end it with this concept of the 2 legs, and then we'll sign off, because it'll be an hour Zoom. But I believe this was good content. I really do. But the 2 legs, as you build your team, you're going to have and I got asked this today, well, where did I put those 30 people I sent to you, Don? Did you put them on my left or the right? And how does the left and the right work? Well, our computer is going to have 4 options for you to do this with. One would be, I want them to go on my left team. The second option will be, I want it to go on my right team. The third option will be, I would like it to be alternate, go left, right, left, right, left, right. But there's a 4th option in our corporate plan, and it's go where your team is the weakest. So you can just let your point, click, and share and your team members go to your weak leg if you want to make sure your teams are growing evenly. So it's going to be all done for you. So you don't have to learn, okay, where do I put this person? How do I put this person? It's called a rotator. You'll learn about that. And it's all there in your back office for your $9.98 payment for the one time this year. That's going to do it all for you, because your back office does all that work for you. So I wanted to touch on that. I hope this was informative. There's a question. Can you say how to move from 279 to 549? If you start at 279, do you then have to buy at 549? Can you work up to that level? Oh, yes. Okay. So the compensation plan allows you actually to start at $29.98 and move up to the levels with volume, if you're so inclined to want to do it that way. It is possible to accumulate volume to the top of our plan for just sharing the website and recruiting customers, and the volume generates. So there's no obligation, but there is some structure requirements as you go up the ladder that'll say you had to have sponsored 3 superstar collectors to be a diamond. Now, the beautiful part about that, and I'm going long here, folks, let's say I got 2 more minutes. If we make a category of 3 superstar collectors, they don't have to maintain that position forever. It's a one-time, and if they fall out of rank and they aren't interested in going forward, you don't get penalized. It's a grandfathered in type effect. I love that about our comp plan. So you're rewarded for your customers' purchases, and those purchases count as your qualifier for your monthly orders. You don't even have to order anything if you don't want to. That's part of our compensation plan. More to come on that. I promise you, when we launch, the technical side of the compensation plan will be there on training, on Zooms, and Rick Geralds and others who are experts will spend a lot of time and give you a lot of their time, so you all know. Folks, this has been a great, powerful Zoom. Thank you for all the questions. I'm looking forward to, anybody who wants to send a private email to me with questions, it's dcarson@excitedcollector.com, dcarson@excitedcollector.com. I'll do my best to get back to you. If you'd like my cell number, it's 204-955-3685. I do my best to reply to them as quick as possible. Ultimately, my wife and I are 100% all in here. This is our focus. We both have traditional businesses, but this excites the heck out of us. So we're all in to help you. We're a team, and we're your master distributors, and we're proud as heck to be there, to be here to support each and every one of you. So thanks so much, folks, for joining us tonight. And I'll turn the recording off now.